Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio Works World. I am your host today, and I will be introducing you to my story. My name is Tulsi, and my story is I was 10 years old and I was involved in a plane crash. The plane crash was actually in India, and I was 10 years old at the time. Sorry, I lost my family, and that's my mom, my dad, and my brother. I don't actually have much recollection of the actual accident, but I have little memories of things that had happened. I remembered looking out the window and seeing the blue skies and the fields below. I remember arguing with my brother because I wanted to sit at the window seat. Then the next recollection I have is of my grandmother's voice. Um, she's sitting next to me and telling me what's actually happened. I was more confused as to why she's next to me. Her voice didn't sound like it was on at the other end of a telephone. It was a lot more closer. And I'm just asking, where are my mum and dad? What's going on? And she keeps telling me what's happened, but it's not registering. Um, then I kind of recall a young doctor's voice, and he's just like kind of reassuring me everything's okay. You know, there's a big accident that's happened. You'll be fine. And then I don't know how much time has really passed in terms of real time, but it seems like forever. And then I'm flown back to the UK from India. And the next voice I hear are my family in England. So I'm thinking, why are my aunts and cousins and everybody really close to me again? I thought I left them in the UK to go traveling in India with my parents. And they're all explaining what's happening, obviously trying to hold back their emotions because of their loss and their bereavement. And I'm really struggling to comprehend what's actually happened. Um, I suppose being sedated and in and out of surgery, I don't really know what's going on, you know. So I suppose the mind is kind of subdued at the moment. 6 weeks into 6 weeks post accident, they removed the bandages from my eyes, and I think I request to basically I request for a mirror and say, "Can I please look in the mirror? I want to see what I look like." Bearing in mind, I don't actually know what burns look like, and in my head and in my heart, I'm still the same person, so it shouldn't be really any different. Well, when I look in the mirror, the person looking back at me is not me. I'm like, surely they've drawn an image on this mirror. That's not me. But as soon as I move my eyes, like blink my eyelids or move my mouth, I'm realizing that person reflecting back is also doing the same thing. It's at that moment I actually realized what's happened. It's huge. I was like, wow, is this what burns look like? Is this what I'm going to look like for the rest of my life? How am I going to cope? Where are my parents? Surely what everyone's been saying is not actually true. For a few years, I've always believed that they'll come back for me. Maybe they've lost their passport, you know, or something's actually happened. Um, but all in this sort of moment, I'm having all these realizations of what's actually happened. My time in hospital was amazing. You know, all the staff have been fantastic. I was cared for, I was looked after. And every day, tirelessly and selflessly, my family came to visit me. I was in Essex, and my dad's side mostly lived in East London, and my mum's side mostly in Northwest London. But every day they'll come and visit me, bring food, or just to sit by my side. And you know that has actually got me through. It's power of family is quite phenomenal. And I thought in my head, you know, everyone's looking at me as no, I'm treating me as normal. I obviously I look different, but no one's really treating me different. So when I left hospital and got discharged, reality hit, like when I got people staring at me and the bullying had started. And I was like, but I thought everyone's like how they are when you're in hospital. And it's when I realized that that was one of my safe havens. Um, School was great, you know, all the students had been prepared as to what I would look like, the pressure garments I used to have to wear. So I had no problems making friends in school. It was fantastic. In fact, they're still friends now, so I'm really lucky. But it's the journey to and from school, it's the journey to and from hospital, it's the day-to-day encountering everyday people. That's where I had a lot of issues. Um, I finished school and I had the opportunity to go to a burns camp in America because I wanted to open one here in the UK for young children. Because once you leave hospital and you're discharged, there's nothing there like to help them or to have a peer support where people are going through the same thing. And I guess integrating them back into society. Um, Going to the camp in America was a huge eye opener for me as well, because everything I did, I limited it to my burns and scars, not physically, but emotionally. And I saw a young boy who had a lower limb missing, and he was climbing this massive rock and abseiling down, which was one of the activities. And I was more apprehensive of how the harness looked. Like it just sounds so silly in comparison now. But I was like, if this boy can do this, what is stopping me? I've got everything. You know, I've got my feet, I've got all the digits on my toes, I've got my fingers, I've got my hands, I've got everything. There was no limitation. You know, it was just basically in the mind. And that's when I realized everything was in the mind. Um, I went through a career in hotel and management, and I found that quite difficult because I kept getting jobs that were behind the scenes, but I wanted to work with people. I'm very much a people person, you know, meeting and greeting. And one hotel, which I went for an interview, actually said, "Your face doesn't fit this hotel." I got quite disheartened thinking, is this what life is going to really be like, being judged by what I am on the outside? Changed careers and went into do health and social care. And I was working in a like a care home, but I felt quite limited there. I enjoyed the job, but it wasn't bringing me any satisfaction. And then an opportunity for counselling came up. So I thought, this is great because everyone's coming to me with their problems and issues. Surely this is going to be okay. But what I realized was I learned a lot about me, all my inner demons, my, you know, everything. So my journey to where I am today kind of started at that point. Um, a lot of psychological help, you know, by reading books and things like that. And in the counseling certificate, I had to be very honest with my feelings. And I think I found some healing at that point about my accident and where I was going on this journey. Um, I didn't continue with my counseling diploma, I just did it at the certificate level. And then I had the opportunity to study, at the time, it was complementary therapy degree. And then I later changed it by a few modules to applied health sciences. I specialized in Pilates and therapeutic massage. And I finally found something that I really enjoyed because I realized that if I had this type of care whilst I was in hospital with my burns, maybe that inner core strength would have helped me recover a little bit more better and made me feel a lot more stronger inside myself. And that was my drive, helping people on a rehabilitation level. Um, I teach Pilates now. I'm also a motivational speaker, and I do meditation, mindfulness workshops as well. So I want to give out there the encouragement to be a better person within yourself. So seeking that better person within yourself, making better choices and being positive, having the confidence and the courage to know that you can do anything you want to. Sure, negative things happen in your life, but I think if you find that courage and that strength from inside, you can do anything in this world. And the only limitation is actually your mind. Sure, physical things are there as well, but there are so many ways to overcome them. I think it's having that confidence and courage to know that what you have to offer, it's valuable to someone else. Um, just a few words can change somebody's world and outlook. And whilst I was doing this, this is what I found. Um, I volunteer at two charities at the moment, the Katie Piper Foundation and Changing Faces. And it's through that I finally had closure about my scars, because when I was doing my degree, my kidneys failed. So I was on dialysis and eventually I got a kidney transplant. But in the midst of my dialysis, um, I was I was doing my degree, so I'd set up my dialysis machine at night, put my laptops and my textbooks on the bed, and then I would connect myself to the machine and do my essays and everything else. So I managed to pass my degree, and I realized if I can do it at that stage, then I can do it at any stage. I can do anything at any stage, and that kind of has given me the courage to keep going. Um, I love talking to people, and I love helping them find helping them find the courage and the strength from within. Um, I'm really passionate about empowering women, especially women who don't have a voice or don't actually have a lot of support around them to encourage them to be a better person. I want to be that person. I also want to work with young children, particularly about self confidence and especially self image, because that's something I struggled for such a long time. I'm at a place now where I recognize I'm beautiful. I have so much more to offer. And I know that the light within me is shining so bright. So it's there to help other people who are currently in darkness at the moment and just want to come out and do something for themselves. And, you know, I want to take this on a global scale because I just feel so many places in the world where there's still so much darkness, especially with women. And I just want them to share their story, because sharing their story will also empower them and help them move forward within their journey.
Wow. Um, Tell us, I know you have a very vibrant personality and you help so many people. So tell us what is happening and is so exciting in your life right now and you like to share with us.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I'm helping with Changing Faces with their face equality campaign. It's recognizing that, you know, we're constantly judged from the way we look on the from our face and appearance, and often or not, like we have missed opportunities like employment or even relationships. And even if we look at social media, there's so much, there's like memes out there that use people with some sort of disfigurement, scar, skin condition, whatever it is. And it's really heartbreaking because that's a human being at the end of the day. There's somebody with feelings, and having face equality means we're treated as one. When we shouldn't be discriminated when we're going for a job based on how we look. And I think this is quite close to my heart because every day, I don't get a day off from my scars. I can't just take them off and say, "Hey, I'm not going to I'm not going to be attached to you today." When I leave the front door, I have to check in and think, okay, X amount of people are going to stare at me or make a comment. How do I deal with that? And it's getting that courage and finding that inner voice in me thinking, actually, what they're doing is there's a great picture. There's more going on in this world than them staring at me. And I'm confident inside, but there's not many people who are confident or are struggling, and I want to be that voice for them. I want to help them. So I'm helping them with this campaign at the moment, and it's amazing. It's so powerful. Um, I'm just setting up my own business in motivational speaking and that because I really want to go on a global scale with this. I want to share my story, and I want to give hope to people who just feel like they want to give up or what's the point. And I want to show them they've got so much more to offer in this world. In this world, we need all sorts of people. All sorts of jobs, all sorts of things. We need everybody. And it's by sharing your story that you can actually help somebody else and yourself as well. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
So tell us, what is one day this year that was the best day this year so far?
This year, when I met my partner,
Wow.
because
What is his
all
name?
the years I've been struggling.
What is their name?
His name is Robbie.
Robbie. Hello, Robbie.
Yes, Robbie. And yeah, I think, all this time I've been struggling, okay, within myself, and all the kind of people I was attracting in my life, a lot of them were negative because I was in a negative place. And suddenly this person comes along and just accepts me for who I am and consistently supports me for all the things I do. And he's just there for me, encouraging me, being that voice going, you can do this, don't stop. And I just thought, wow, that's so powerful. Um, and for me, it's not the material side of things, it's not the money side, it's how somebody treats you and wants to be with you. He's never looked at my appearance and seen it as anything different. He loves the whole package, I guess.
So finding people who could see the person in front of them for who they are is
Yeah,
is the biggest challenge you find, and you don't struggle anymore because you found the solution for it, uh,
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
that little oversight, if you want, from people who, it's almost like they are blind, they can't see you,
yeah.
and you have to help them see see other people. But from the other hand, you are helping people who got tremendous beauty inside, and they've been
Mm,
through difficult, they survive an accident, or they've been through um, tremendous difficulties in their life, and
yeah.
their outside beauty, is different, is still beauty, but is different, and you are
Hmm.
helping them to cope, to create the coping mechanism to live a normal
Yeah,
life, ignoring the people who
absolutely.
cannot see, the blinds who are out there and cannot see their inner beauty.
Absolutely. I mean, we all have the potential to shine from within. We all have it. And but sometimes, you know, not everybody has, like, for example, unconditional love from their family from day one. So they're constantly struggling to look for that. And when you're looking for that unconditional love, which I call self-love, you lose your confidence, your self-esteem, um, and if you have some sort of difference, be it physically, you struggle with that. So there's going through so much. But when you work through each of those barriers and you find that, you basically find your soul, you find that inner light in you, and there's nothing to stop you from going any further, like to stop you from going far, nothing to stop you to achieving your dreams. That's when like, you're on a good place and that you can help other people. And I feel that's where I am now. Um, I own all of me. I've worked really hard to get to my soul and work out who I am, and also my life purpose of why all these events happened. It's because from all those learnings and all those challenges, the strength within me got me through. And now, if I can do that, then anyone can do that.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm
So
not, no,
I'll be,
I'm just an ordinary person, just going about, there's nothing extraordinary about me or anything special. But I want to tell people that they can find this inner light and inner voice and use it to the best, but for themselves and for others.
wow. Wow. So you are on a path to beautiful, because you are beautiful inside, and you share that. You share your stardust with us, and that's beyond priceless. And while we don't know where it leads, we know it's taking us to a beautiful place, to a better place, where we see each
Yeah,
other for who we are and not for how we look. From both of us,
absolutely.
until next time, and I'm really hope you'll be back to it. From both of us, share your stardust.
I will do. Thank you.